Hello and welcome to another video here on Living with the Wilsons. Today we're going to be talking about my very first solo cruise on the Carnival Radiance. So like I said, it was my very first solo cruise, and that was a pretty big deal for me because I've never vacationed on my own. I've always gone with my wife. We have a great time, so if that ain't broke, why fix it? But fortunately, I was in need of a vacation, felt a little burnt out, and she wasn't able to go, so it was the perfect opportunity for me to do this on my own. And I'll tell you what, I didn't regret it. If you're thinking about taking a solo cruise and you never have, do it. You won't regret it. You'll have a lot of fun. It also was not only my first solo cruise, but it was my first time on a Carnival ship. Not just Carnival Radiance, but any Carnival ship. I've always been loyal to Royal since 2017 when I started cruising, and I'm a big fan of Virgin Voyages as well. Got another Virgin Voyage cruise coming up shortly. But let's talk about my experience with Carnival on the Carnival Radiance and more of like a review. So hopefully there's some information in here that you can get that if you're on the fence about taking a trip on this ship, maybe it'll sway you one way or the other. So a quick backstory about the ship. It was ordered by Carnival in 1997, and I believe it was delivered to them and added to the fleet right around 2000 or just before. And the Radiance was not her first name. The ship was originally launched under Carnival Victory. Yeah, Carnival Victory. When the ship went through a refurbishment recently, that's when the name was changed to Radiance. Speaking of that refit, that was took place in, I think, 2021, and it cost them about $200 million to update it. And a fun fact, if you know who Shaquille O'Neal is, his mother is the godmother of the ship. I think that's what they call him, godmother, but she's the godmother of the ship. Now, the Carnival Radiance is home ported out of Long Beach, California, and she does 3- and 5-day sailings. I took the 5-day sailing, and we went from Long Beach to, where did we go first? We went to Catalina Island. Then from Catalina Island, next we went down to Ensenada, Mexico. Then we had a day at sea, and we came back to Long Beach. The Carnival Radiance has 13 decks, and there are 1,492 cabins, and that's going to work out to a double occupancy of about 3,870 something passengers. And she sails generally with around 1,400 crew. So like I said, this is going to be more of a review of my first time with Carnival. There's a few things I want to go over. The first thing I want to talk about is Embarkation Day. I got there early because I flew in the day of, which, by the way, they tell you not to do. A lot of people will tell you not to do it. I didn't listen, and I did it, and it worked out perfectly for me. But you can never tell. It is always recommended that you fly in the day before if you're not in the Los Angeles area or plan on driving there that morning. So fly in the day before or get there the day before and just stay in a hotel if possible. But I got there, I flew into Long Beach Airport, and I took the shuttle from Carnival from the airport to the port. So I got to the port a little early because I got in early, and my scheduled boarding time was 11:30 to 12. That was my slot, but they were pretty efficient in getting everybody through the terminal, and I ended up getting on the ship early. So that was awesome. Kudos to Carnival and all the team members for Carnival and everybody that works in that terminal to get everybody processed through and onto the ship. It was very seamless. It went quick. You never really just stood around and waited and waited and waited. About the longest time of waiting was when I got to the line waiting for an agent to do my actual check-in process. I think I waited 30 seconds when I got to the front of the line for the next person to be available. I mean, they had all the stations set up, and they're just going right through. I mean, a lot of the stuff is done online beforehand, so that speeds up the process. Now, the one thing that I did think was weird is the fact that I had to print out my boarding pass. With Royal Caribbean and Virgin, didn't have to print those out. Just showed it on the phone and you go right through. So I thought that was a little weird. If you don't have a printer, You're gonna have to go someplace to get it printed before you show up at the port, because you're gonna need it. So yeah, I got on early. Had a little bit of time to spare because the rooms weren't going to be ready until about 1:30. So I went and got a bite to eat, and I then got a drink. And right about 1 o'clock, announcement came over that the rooms were ready early. So we all got to go to our rooms, and that's when I met my room steward, Alberto, and he was absolutely awesome through the whole trip. He was always available, right there, ready to answer any questions you needed. And you know, it always amazes me that the team members on the ships remember your names, and not just yours, but everybody's name. It's amazing that they can do that. But I guess when that's your job and you're proficient and good at it, you can do those types of things. Now, with it being an older ship, she's not the largest, and I think I only took the elevators the entire trip, maybe 2-3 times at the most. I just used the stairs everywhere I went, and I didn't have a problem. You know, with those larger ships, and if you're staying on the bottom, and you need to go to the top, you're not going to want to take the stairs. But on this one, I just took the stairs everywhere. The other advantage of it, with it being a smaller ship, and it's probably also with the time that I went, because I actually went the week that California schools all started back in session. So there wasn't a bunch of kids. There were kids, don't get me wrong, but there wasn't a bunch of kids on the ship. So, and I think the ship wasn't full either, because whenever I went to a show or anything like that, I didn't have to make reservations and didn't wait very long to get in, and there was always seating available. So that was, I guess, one of the advantages of always taking a smaller ship. There are not a lot of people will gear towards those, especially people with kids. They kind of go for the larger ships with all the amenities and everything on them. But I liked some of the smaller ones for that particular reason. So let's touch on a couple of things that I didn't like, and then I'll touch on the things that stuck out to me that I really liked or appreciated. Their app, it's a little lackluster, and I think it could use some attention on Carnival's part. You know, compared to the Royal Caribbean or even the Virgin, which isn't that great of an app, Carnival does all of its pre-boarding on its website. Even when you go into the app to complete the pre-boarding, it takes you to the website. So it just takes you to the mobile version of everything. The other thing I didn't like about the app is that once you completed your onboarding process, it didn't show all of your information in the app. You had to actually go into the app, and then it would then take you to the mobile version of the website to where you can then look up any of the information. Like, it didn't have the shuttles that I had purchased. I purchased the shuttle to the ship from the airport, and then from the ship to the airport when we got back. It doesn't show that. That's another thing you have to print out. Your boarding documents includes part of that, and you got to have that, or else they're not going to let you on the shuttle. At least that's what I believe. They probably could look you up if needed, but it would be nice if it was just on the app, and you just, here you go. Here's my app. There's my boarding, my registration or reservation for it. That's the word I was looking for. It doesn't show you your scheduled boarding time, which is weird. But again, you have your good old, I don't have it with me, but you have your printout. So that's where you have to look for your boarding. It would just be nice if it was all in the app. Like I had touched on the fact that you have to print them. I mean, this is 2023. Why are we still printing these documents? Why can't they just all, again, be in the app? It would make it a lot more convenient, and you wouldn't have to worry about losing the documents that are printed out somewhere along the way. The other thing, I don't know if this is really, it's probably not really a Carnival issue. It's more of something to be aware of if you go to Catalina Island on a cruise ship. They don't dock right in Catalina Island because there's no way to get the cruise ships in there. So they actually anchor out, and you have to tender in. The tenders are not by Carnival, so they don't have anything, to do with them, other than the fact that it's, bringing you to and from the ship and the island. So getting on the tender was easy when I was going to the island. It was the coming back part that really sucked. When I decided it was time for me to go back to the ship, which wasn't towards the end of the day, I decided to go back early after I did all my walking around Catalina Island, which, by the way, if you get a chance to go to Catalina Island, do it. It's a beautiful place, absolutely beautiful. So I went to go back to the tender area to get on the boat to go back to the ship, and I ended up having to wait in line for an hour and a half before I finally got on a tender. And it was hot. I mean, it was not comfortable. There's no shaded area. You're in the sun just beating down on you, and it just wasn't a great experience getting back on the tender to go back to the ship. So just be on the lookout for that. And prepare yourself. Make sure you have some water with you, which I did not. So that's, my bad. The other thing that sucked, and this is completely on Carnival, when we got back to the ship after being tendered from the island back in, went through the security checkpoint, which you do on every ship when you get back on. That's no big deal. The problem I had was after that, you do not have the option to use the stairs. You have to stand there and wait for the elevators, which takes forever, and then everybody's cramming into them, and everybody's trying to get into it before everybody else. So you're getting cut off, and it's not a great experience. I asked, where are the stairs? And they're like, no, you have to use the elevators. I'm like, you don't have stairs that I can use? Why can't I use the stairs? And they just said, no, we're not allowing anybody to use the stairs. You had to use the elevators, and I just wish you didn't have to. It just took too long, and it was uncomfortable. So between the app and that whole tendering process, that was like the only thing that I really disliked about the whole thing. Like I said, I had a great time on the ship. It is an older ship, so if you're prepared for the fact that it's an older ship, there's not going to be all the amenities on it. I mean, it's still got water slides and pools and hot tubs and stuff like that. They got the bars that play all the music and everything. There's a casino, which I had a lot of fun in the casino every night that I was there. And I was up a little bit, and then I lost it all. But you win some, you lose some. They still have some shows. They had some comedy people on board, which were funny. Enjoyed that. And bingo. One of my favorite activities on a cruise ship is actually playing bingo. It's the only time I play bingo, actually. Our particular cruise had 2 bingos. I missed the first one. I forgot why, but I was doing something else. So I missed the first bingo, but I caught the second one. And I got a cool shirt. Bingo is my game-o. That's what I got. I didn't win it. There was a chance to win, I think it was up to $5,000, which is pretty good. So had a lot of fun with that too. So here's a couple of things that really stuck out to me that I want to mention that I liked. The embarkation process. It was quick, easy, let us on early. Really appreciated that. The other thing that I thought was kind of cool about that whole embarkation is you have to go to your mustard station, and sometimes you're sitting around waiting and waiting and waiting, and they're in one of the bars drinking or something, and they're just not going to their mustard station. And the boat's not going to leave until everybody goes to their mustard station and does their thing. Well, on this ship, you're only allowed to get 1 drink until your mustard station was completed. And they would check that in the system. So if you got a drink sitting there in the bar and you go to order another one and you haven't done your mustard station, they flat out tell you, you got to go to your mustard station. You can only have 1 drink until you do. So I really appreciated that because it got it over with. Everybody taken care of with the mustard station right away or as fast as possible. And the faster you get that done, the better chance you have leaving on time. The other thing I really liked about the Radiance particularly is the fact that it is a smaller ship, like I said earlier. And one of those main reasons is it gives you access to smaller places that only smaller ships can go. The larger ships just can't go. So like Catalina Island, I don't know of any of the large ships that go there. I could be wrong, but it's easier with a smaller ship to get anchored just outside of the bay and get tendered in and out. So that's one of the bonuses about the smaller ships. So one of the benefits of going on the cruise, the food. Everybody always raves about food on cruises. Some cruise lines have better food than others. And I've always heard that the food on Royal is better than the food on Carnival, so I got to experience it. Now, I will say, I did not go to the main dining hall at all. I just didn't feel like it, and there was plenty of options on the ship, so I just, you know, went to those places instead. So one of those places that I did eat was the buffet. The buffet was not something to write home about. It was small, it's very lackluster. It was crowded, get crowded quick when they opened it, and there just wasn't a lot of variety there. And the food that was there, it just didn't taste that good to begin with. So the buffet was kind of on the bottom of my list, I guess you could say, of the whole eating experience that I had on the Radiance. One notch above the buffet and barely above the buffet was the pizza. Oof. Now, I am originally from New York and I love pizza. One of the things that bugged me about the pizza on this ship is when you went to go get it, you always had to wait in line because there was never any pizza ready to go. And you had to stand around and wait for it and wait for it and wait for it. When you did get it, at least it was hot because it was just made because they didn't have any pre-made and they were making it as they went. And as the pizzas were coming out, they were handing them out. But it was extremely thin. I held it up, so triangles down, and you could see through it. You should not be able to see through pizza. And when you held it vertically, it's supposed to sag a little, and this pizza was just cardboard. It was not delicious at all. It was just crispy pizza is what it was, with barely any toppings on it. Now, one of the places I did really enjoy was Blue Iguana. Breakfast burritos were on point. They were extremely delicious. It was fast. They had plenty of toppings to put on your burrito or your taco, breakfast taco, and it was just really good. Now, this ship does have a Shaq's Big Chicken. Unfortunately, I did not get any of the chicken. Whenever I went there, the line was always long, so I just never bothered to wait in line for it. Another one I did not get a chance to, but I tried to, was Guy's Pig and Anchor. It's not open for very long, so you have to, you know, there's a very short window of when you can get there, and it goes quick, so you want to be there as soon as they open, and there's going to be a line. I never timed it properly, so I didn't get a chance to try it. Now, one of the things I did try and was probably my favorite was Guy's Burgers. Absolutely delicious. I had them quite a few times I was on the ship. Fries weren't too bad, but the burgers were really tasty. The staff was very quick. Line never took too long to get through. And like I said, they had plenty of toppings to choose from that you could put on it to make it your however way you wanted it. So some of the entertainment that I was able to take in was a couple of the comedy shows. They had two different comedians on the ship. I'd never heard of them before, but they were both pretty funny, and I did enjoy myself at those shows. I didn't see any of the production shows. In fact, I don't even know if they had any because I didn't even bother to look. They probably did, but I didn't do that. The only game that I participated in, like I said, was the bingo game. I didn't go to, I know a lot of ships do like the love and marriages and stuff like that, but I didn't do any of that. Main thing I did was just relax quite a bit up on the pool decks and whatnot. There's plenty of places to sit, lounge out, and just read a book. And that's what I did quite a bit. Oh, of course, when I wasn't in the casino gambling my money away, of course, but that was a lot of fun. Really, the casino was nice. I play video poker a lot, so they got plenty of machines there. The thing I appreciated with the casino is one side they have the smoking, the other side is non-smoking. So you can be over the non-smoking side and not being next to somebody who's blowing smoke in your face. And there was also plenty of live entertainment, whether it was in one of the bar areas or up on the pool deck where they had a DJ that was playing all the time. So whatever tickled your fancy, you could be up on the pool deck. And of course, there was also some live music at some of the bars. One of the places that I frequented to listen to the live music was a couple that I don't believe they were from the US. I can't remember exactly where they were from. I want to say it was like Norway or something like that. But they were really good, and it was very relaxing. So I really enjoyed that as well. So all in all, I really did enjoy myself as a solo cruiser, and I really enjoyed checking out what Carnival had to offer. If you're on the fence about it, do it. I highly recommend taking a solo cruise. I think everybody should take one. It's not boring at all, and I know a lot of times people are concerned of not being able to experience it with somebody, or not being able to converse with somebody like that. You know, it's one of the amazing reasons why you like to go with people, is because you have somebody to experience it with. And I can't really talk about like the whole meeting somebody on the ship to experience it with, because I didn't, but being able to, you know, just be in an area and just strike up a conversation with somebody. You're going to have that happen, and they're generally good conversations. So take a solo cruise and check out Carnival if you haven't. Carnival was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and I would definitely take another Carnival cruise. I think the next one might be something a little bigger, but not too big. I don't want to be on the largest Carnival, but I definitely want to check out another Carnival ship. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you are looking to book a cruise, let us know, because we have a travel agency called JCW Travels, and we would be more than happy to help you plan your next cruise. Other than that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Share the video if you feel it necessary or some good information in it. And I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you enjoy your day.